All praises to the horizon, peace and wisdom. It's the wise servant of the life. Today I want to do a lesson on ego. Just like all things, the ego is dual in nature, meaning there's a duality with what we know as the ego. On one end, it's referred to as insecurities, and on the other end, it's referred to as arrogance. And so this is the whole of the ego, or what we call the ego. Now, ego is what helps a man raise in conscious, meaning a baby, newborn, has no ego, doesn't have very much conscious, so to say. And so as that baby grows in conscious, becoming sure of itself, it will learn how to walk, talk, play sports, and compete with others because of that ego. Ego is what helps one to raise up in their spirit. And in that they can do things that others may can't. You know, this is the way for one to blossom their talents. Now, as I said, ego is dual in nature like all things. And so it will manifest as insecurities on one end and arrogance on the other. But if one can, be aware of the ego and how it works and how to stay balanced between the arrogance and insecurities, well, so the ego, it's your best asset. You are the ego. And so don't look at yourself as separate from it. You are the ego is you. And so your ego can be lowered into what we call insecurities, or your ego can be raised into what we call arrogance. And so arrogance is a good thing, and so is insecurities. But it's a matter of what? One should be humbled somewhat and insecure in dealing with life, meaning the gift of it. And so in that you be humble and thankful, and that's insecure a little bit. When it comes to your talents and your greatness in life, you be as arrogant as possible. Because that's what's gonna, what's up, bro? That's what's gonna, shape the mold. And so never lose sight of that. We kind of take, slave masters' rhetoric, their tools that they used against us, or our ancestors, still using it against us too. And so they force that on us, not to be arrogant and proud of yourself too much. But so slave masters were arrogant. They had a whole plantation in human slaves. And so that's arrogance at its heights. And so it's very important, that we explain to our children the importance of ego and how to work theirs, never letting someone else push their ego down. You have to be strong in this life. Your greatness will bring about someone else's insecurities, meaning life is like a seesaw. So if one side goes up, something else will go down. And so when your ego rises, those on the low side of the ego, meaning those that are insecure, Well, the rising of your ego will make them feel as if they're going down. And this is when people say, this person thinks they're better and that, and so on and so forth. But it's very important to explain to your kids that their ego is the most important thing, and them being arrogant and proud of themselves is very important. You explain to them not to ever look down on someone, because we all come from the lowest of conscious. Meaning we were all born as babies, not knowing anything, being able to be led on any path, right or wrong. And so in knowing that, you respect the insecurities, you respect the low places, but the low places is not places where you are supposed to remain. You are supposed to rise up to the heights of arrogance in your ego, and falling is a part of that as well. It's not about being selfish in life, but you respect the fall and the rise. And you will continue to fall and rise until you balance and level out, respecting both sides, the heights and lows of it, and finding your place somewhere in the middle. And so I keep my arrogance and my ego high, but I don't come better than you guys in any way. I come as an equal. I say give and receive. This is equal. Meaning I'm not going to put myself lower, and I don't raise myself above, but all needs to be fair and balanced. A fool needs to pull his weight no different than a wise man. And so it's like I said, when you're dealing with the duality, it can become tricky, because a fool and a wise man can become the same. Meaning everything is done for a fool. A fool doesn't know much, and so everything is done for him. And so it's the same with a wise man. He finds a way to get everyone else to do things for him, because his conscience is higher. And so you see how it's a deep thing, because the fool learns nothing, just as the wise man, he truly learns nothing either when he lives in that frequency. And so everyone must pull their weight. Peace and wisdom. When I go live, it leaves the door open for all types of energies to come in. Some of you guys are very unbalanced, not self-aware of your manners, as well as your selfishness. Things like this. And so in that, some of you guys are coming very obnoxious and in a bogarting manner, unbalanced. And so, like I said, I'm a fair person, so that's like mixing oil and water. But my point of saying that is, it's a little better when I do the videos in this way. It's just my energies, trees behind, that's good energy, as well as this water in front of me. And so I take in all this conscious, all this good energy. It's peaceful, still energy. When I say good energy, that's what I mean. You got chaos on both ends of the stick, but in the balance, in the still place, it's peaceful. Top of the sea, you see how wavy and chaotic it appears as it's moving. And so the bottom of the sea bed is the same, meaning the floor. It's no different. And all that space in between. So this is good space. We all reach for the tops, and that most of us fall to the bottoms, but somewhere in between the tops and the bottoms, so it's a good place. It's a very deep thing. I have a children's book that's out. It will be released on Friday. You can order the physical copy. I already have it. I'm not sure why I'm releasing it Friday, but That's the day I said. So even though I'm a little early, I'll just wait till Friday to release it. If any of you guys want to get a copy of this book, what it is a children's book, an adolescent's book. You know, good for teenagers, or children, or anyone who likes comic books. And so what I did was I took great black people in our lives throughout history, and I kind of showed how they are superheroes in their own right as well. I apologize, this plane is going by. But I explained how they're superheroes in their own right. And I show some commonalities between the superheroes that we do have. Just give me a second. Let the plane go by. As I said, I show the commonalities. Hello. About to get your fish on? Hey, you probably catch some today.
Oh, yeah?
It's your day. I'm speaking it into existence. Peace and wisdom. I like to give out good energy to people. I know y'all watch me on here, y'all think I'm like ruthless. And so y'all caught a quick glimpse of how I deal with people outside of a camera. I kind of forgot y'all was here for a second, chatting with one of the elders right there. I'm not sure if y'all can see her. So peace and wisdom. I like to make the elders, you know, still feel alive. I kick it with them for a minute. She got a machete. She ain't playing. Ooh. But like I said, I have this children's book coming out, our adolescence book, our book for anyone who likes comics. And so I show the commonalities between our great leaders, well, our great black leaders in history. And I show the commonalities between them and the superheroes that we have in Marvel Comics. And so a lot of our great black leaders had, or you can say their real lives were exaggerated into a lot of superheroes. And so I kind of made this book. The first page, you know, it kind of shows the black person, our leader, as a superhero figure. And then the second page gives you their real history. And so it's like a reference book to kind of direct people to look up certain people, start to look into your black history. And so a lot of us are lost into entertainment, you know, comics and things. And so I kind of put that little twist on it, you know, to draw the children in. They need something to draw in. You know, if they can see Barack Obama as a superhero first, say, let me see what he really did. And so I kind of fashioned the book in that way. It's titled Real Superheroes. You can email me at solace031@gmail.com to get a copy. You can go to my PayPal, paypal.me/SolaceSolari, or Cash App $WiseServant. Get yourself a copy of that book for your child or yourself. Like I said, if you into comics and you like unique things, you can check it out. It's a really good book. It also has a small coloring book in the back, meaning it's a coloring book. And I have a crossword puzzle in there as well for the youth. So it's a deep thing, man. Peace and wisdom.